1 second while it loads. We're live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I am one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And we've got some very special guests here today. We have writer for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, David Phillips, and a fucking climate scientist, Emily Newsom. Equally important jobs, comedy writing, and
we've got it covered. We've got it covered in this household. I'm creating the pollution, and she's figuring out how to get it out of here.
Yeah, blue pages, salmon pages.
The carbon footprint of all the bad jokes that I've contributed. He's figuring out a way to get rid of them.
Yes.
Yeah. So
exactly. Incredible. Well, guys, we're so excited to have you because you guys are real Top Chef heads.
And honestly, Emily deserves more of the head than me. I've seen every season.
You're like an ear. You're like an ear.
I'm an ear on the head.
Yeah.
She's rewatched seasons multiple times.
Yeah.
His body, I'm the head.
Yeah.
Yes. Emily, do you have a favorite season?
This is a question I should have thought about for 1 second before.
Right on the spot. Immediate hard-hitting question.
No, I'll make it even another option is also like a favorite person or one of your favorite people who's ever competed on the show.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let me think if I can think of one. Okay. So a favorite of mine would probably have to be from, you know who's really grown on me is Brooke. She wasn't a favorite initially, but the more she returned, I really became a big Brooke fan. And I'm surprised I haven't eaten her food because she has restaurants in LA and I haven't been to the restaurants.
Right before the show started, we were talking about going to Playa Provisions. So I'm with you.
And like very early on, and I'm not proud of this, but I was a huge Voltaggio brother. You know, it's like, it's lame, but I'm like, they upped the ante in terms of how good the food was on the show. And I think even though they are problematic as people potentially, chefs are, that was the first time that it was like, oh, now we get great chefs. So like they changed the trajectory of the show is what I felt. But am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. I think those were the first two.
I know.
I think Michael Voltaggio was the first person to go on the show that like constantly stymied the judges and where you knew he was going to win immediately.
Yes.
Yeah. Where you were like, he might be better at cooking than the judges.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But the last season was like just a full on, I mean, a great season of just all beloved characters.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, this is like going to be a theme, which is that I'm a huge fan and I cannot remember anything ever. Like I can't remember people's names. That's why I was like, I have a favorite character or a few, but I can't remember any of their names. Is it Gregory?
Gregory Corday.
Gregory is so
my
good.
Favorite, yeah. I don't get his name wrong.
He's Top Chef Boston and Top Chef California 17, the All-Stars. And he was a recurring panelist judge in the Portland season for people who watch Portland.
That guy. Every time he pops up, I'm like,
Gregory's the right answer. Gregory is the right answer.
He's just like a gentle spirit.
And now you're right. The memory is hard. Now I'm remembering that Kevin, I think was his name, the red beard guy.
You love a Port King.
Yes. Because he was the one, he had such a hard season. He was up against some great chefs.
Both the Voltaggio brothers.
And he seemed like a guy who would have won had he not been up against the Voltaggios.
Yes.
Wow. He's come back and had some ups and downs, but
he came back. I think Jordan dislikes him more than I actually like him. I think.
Let me say why.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't want to blow you up like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say man, but I'll make it even bigger. Yeah, any man that's like, I love pig. I got pig tattooed on me.
Which is a type of Top Chef.
Yeah, it's like such a trope in Top Chef, and they're always just like so annoying. And I'm like, Shut up. It kind of feels like a heightened version of like Pasta Guy. Also, sometimes we see
You
Pasta
didn't do
Guy
it.
on Top Chef.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I don't like Pasta Guy either. Anybody that's just kind of serving one look
Yeah.
is not for me personally.
Sure.
You know what? You convinced me. I hate him now.
I freaking hate it. What's also funny about the pork men on the show is that they always fuck up pork like the first
Every time.
5 times they do it, and they go, my grandfather's rolling around on a rotisserie stick in his grave. They're like, and then they do one pork thing, they're like, see, I'm the pork guy.
Yeah. They like butcher it completely incorrectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I got a guy at my restaurant that does this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like their journey is always like they come in real hot and then they make a bunch of weird shit and then they realize they can't make anything else. And they're like, I just gotta do me. And then they just like go back to the stuff they usually cook.
I gotta say, the Top Chef lessons have started to contradict themselves. It used to be like, just be you. And then it became like, it seems like you didn't put any kind of flair on this. Like you need to kind of reinvent, start pushing your boundaries. And then it's like, you're pushing it. Why aren't you doing your thing? Just make a soup. And it's like, wait, what's going on?
Always say whatever the opposite of what you did. If the dish tasted bad, the critique will always be the opposite piece of advice of like, yeah, you stayed just doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like, cook the food that got you here.
Yeah.
I tell you this all the time.
Like we had Tiffany Gary on this.
Jordan, you're covering your mic.
Oh my
Right.
God.
What did you say?
It's okay.
I'm so stupid. Okay.
You have to like
saying,
do this. Yeah.
I know. Like I'm doing a
Building anticipation.
I was gonna say that we've even had that confirmed by Top Chef contestants. Like we had Tiffany Derry on the show from Top Chef DC, who was incredible and we're obsessed with her. But she was like, Tom literally like will say the opposite of whatever you say.
Yeah. It's like they're like, what don't you get? Stay in your lane and reinvent yourself. What's going on here? Why is it so hard to figure it out?
Why are you not understanding my mixed messages I'm not telling you?
Just make a simple thing and then
make it complicated.
Put a twist on it. Blend it and then don't feed it to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat it.
It's simple. I'm hungry and I don't want this. Yes, it's truly crazy. So I love that you guys are firing on all cylinders with the Top Chef knowledge. It's great to have other fans on the show. So let's dive into our little orders of business.
We're already in the kitchen.
We're already in the kitchen. Hello. Hi, everyone.
First order of business. I will not cover my microphone again ever in the history of this show.
That's the first order of business, and that will be broken immediately. So then second order of business. Oh, she slammed him. The second order of business is, you guys know we're a food charity-based podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call us. So this season's no different. However, it is different. Psych, I'm Tom, where we aren't doing a different charity every episode. We are going to just do like a big fundraising day on the final episode of this season. So tune in for that. We've been teasing it all season. Come on out for this finale that is in Puerto Rico this season. Spoiler.
Wow,
Spoiler, sorry. Do you now know who wins? Because I said that. So that's first order.
No,
now you got it. Oh, it's locked into place. Now, second order, third order, really, of business is something we did not tell you guys, which is just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire, so does every episode of Top Chef. It does not involve cooking, and you can sit in your chairs. It is a 45-second 10-question challenge that is not trivia based. It is just David and Emily preference based.
Wow.
So it's the fastest quickfire in Top Chef history. So not to brag.
Wow.
And just in case you're like, I'm going to bullshit through this. This doesn't matter. I hate these people.
Who cares? Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's some extra prizes at stake. So one of the prizes is you could win a deed to the Terlato Wine Vineyard.
Ever.
I love Terlato.
Yum.
Oh, yes. I always wanted to get a deed to the
to that bottom of the a crater vineyard where the wine is made of sugar and dirt.
The company that paid Bravo enough to get to be featured on their network.
Exactly. A wine no one has ever heard of or consumed outside of the show. A wine we have had Top Chef guests on to talk about, and they've said it tastes bad.
A wine that we have personally tried to buy and were unable to, even
unpurchasable.
They sold it.
Why are they what are they advertising for then? If you can't
no clue.
It's like it's like an MLM or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The smallest bottle is 85,000 gallons. It's like 30,000 Carlo de Rossi bottles, whatever. So you win a deed. Yeah, exactly. It's secretly Tom Terlato. That's what the T in Terlato stands for. Is Tom.
Yeah.
So you can win a deed to that. And then you can also win your own personalized suite of broken GE appliances, just like you see on the show.
Wow.
I just need a sausage maker.
Yeah. You can get a sausage maker that only comes with casings that are too thick. You can get an oven that drops temperature mysteriously.
And an ice cream machine.
An ice cream machine that'll spew liquid.
Or spoiler alert, a big rack of machines that get taken away from you at the last second.
Absolutely.
You get it.
That's what you got it. You got it. So that's what's at stake here. So guys, are you ready for your 45-second quick fire?
No,
still no.
And actually, Jordan, do we want to do 5 for David, 5 for Emily, or
that's what I was going to say? We're going to do 1 through 5 for whoever wants to start, and then 6 through 10 for whoever wants to finish us off. So
got it. So 1 goes first. So it would be me first.
Yeah, you can, whichever one of you wants to do the first 5.
I mean, sure. I cannot remember anything. This is gonna go.
But this is all preferences based. Yeah. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. David, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so you'll get questions 1 through 5, and then Emily, you'll finish us out. You have 45 seconds.
Yes, and Emily, I will shout your name before I do question 6. So
you don't have to, count.
I'll be listening for my name.
So
beautiful.
You don't have to worry about counting the questions or anything. It'll be good.
Yes, and I will start the timer after Jordan finishes asking question 1. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I have a suggestion of anything at all?
Yes.
What would you rather do? See an improv show or die in a fire?
Improv show.
Are you a baker or a cook?
Baker.
How chocolatey do you like your chocolate?
Dark.
Guacamole made from bananas, hot or not?
Not.
Emily, vanilla and savory food, yes or no?
Bad, no.
Does asparagus on toast make you horny?
Yes.
Whose haircut is better, Jen or Richard's?
Jen.
Who is
going to haircut? Trick question? Yeah.
Who do you want to win this season?
Uh-oh. Quick! 2 seconds!
How great are Jordan and Reka?
Fantastic!
So great.
You know what? I'll give an honorary bump to that. You know,
he wasn't watching the clock.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's so stressful, and you know, you got the right answer for the 10th question. So you know, we're gonna give you at least half of a broken GE appliance.
Okay,
yeah. Great job, though. I think especially.
Great. By the way, I had no idea we were so horny last night while watching the show.
Yeah, the asparagus and toast.
I might have missed an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. For a big dry piece of soggy toast, dry and soggy somehow, at the same time. Incredible.
What? I've always wondered how we do in a quick fire.
And now you know. You do pretty well. You could do one of those like Top Chef challenges with like the wall in between the 2 spouses, where it's you cook the same dish as the spouse or whatever.
Yeah. Tell the spouse what the food is that you're eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Our dog has been barking a lot since the quickfire started. So he's
oh my God.
Something happened.
We are dog sitting and that dog is barking. So I think the quickfire, I think they're like, you fucking idiot, banana guacamole is incredible.
It's a Persian version of like how dogs feel earthquakes before.
Yes.
They
Yes.
go in a quick fire.
They feel
attack.
quick fires too. Yeah.
That makes
It's a
sense. Yeah,
tiny
that
earthquake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
makes sense. That is also a cosmic seismic event.
Thing. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
Yeah.
the question I actually thought the most about was the fire or die in a fire improv question.
Good question that you really have
Oh
to
my God. My roommate, not to jump to your, my roommate was watching this episode with me. And when they, the challenge, he's like, oh, what's the elimination challenge going to be? I was like, just wait. Cause he's also a comedy person. And like, we're going to Second City. And then Luke goes, if they're going to do improv, I have to leave. Like very earnestly. He's like, I just need to set up shop. He's like crocheting. He's like, I just need to get out of the room. It's like the chefs are not going to do improv. Do not worry. But almost worse, the improvisers will. Yeah.
I was worried they were going to be forced to have to do improv.
That would be
Yes.
disgusting. Even
That would
with
be
the
bad.
improvisers.
Real world.
Yeah, that
Ugh.
would be awful. It would be so bad. I watched this episode with my mom, and as some of you in the audience know, but for anyone that's new, Rake and I did improv for a long time. We did improv together. We toured with the Upright Citizens Brigade. But something about improv is like ultimately disgusting in a way.
It is. And
sick, ill.
to film it is very
unhinged.
cruel.
It's unhinged.
It is an art that works live, but also sometimes doesn't. And it certainly doesn't work filmed.
It's
It really,
perverted
it
film.
is
It's not
absolutely, it's fucking demented to film it. You should never film
it's
it.
unwell.
Especially
But I
don't
watched
film the
this
laugh lines. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, no. Go, Reka.
I was like, don't film the laugh lines. I'm like, ew.
Sick. Yeah, disgusting.
Where someone's like, oh, we got another toilet in here? And then everyone laughs. Like, no.
Yes,
I know, and having to see the chefs like react and be like, oh, okay. And like they were kind of being nice too. It honestly didn't seem like a good show. Like usually it's like embarrassing to watch because everyone's going like, and like laughing genuinely, but most of the time they were just like, like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I know.
I did watch this episode with my mom, and every single person from the improv troupe, my mom asked if I knew them.
Emily asked that to me.
That's
I was
so
like, how
funny.
do I know that person? I was like, are they famous? Are they?
Yeah.
I guess
Emily's like,
that ultimately, I mean, maybe this is rude, but ultimately, wow, we don't know who any of those people are.
I know.
That's really
I felt
devastating.
really bad. I had the same feeling. I was like, this took place in 2008. This could be one of the most beautiful like timepieces of like, oh look who became famous, and then it's like, oh no.
Uh-oh, improv leads nowhere.
No.
Incredible. So let's hop into this quick fire.
Oh.
Johnny Uzini's the judge.
Okay, we have to talk about. I remember being in middle school and almost purchasing on his website a Johnny Cupcake t-shirt. And it was an outline of a t-shirt with
That's him?
underneath. Yes, he had a place called Johnny.
Oh, I know there's a t-shirt place called Johnny Cupcakes
Cupcakes.
because that's fucking rude. When my friend went to college in Boston, she's like, a cupcake place, and it only sold t-shirts. I was like, ew.
I think that's him. Wait, that has to be real. And now I'm like,
might be.
freaked.
So you guys knew who this dude was?
Well, he's
Wait,
like
now I'm scared that I'm wrong. Hold
no,
on.
you're probably right. He's a pastry chef. He's like a famous pastry chef, and he hosted Top Chef Just Desserts with Gail Simmons. A very, very unfortunate spinoff.
Somebody needs to drive me to the hospital because this is a different man than I thought. it was.
Oh, man.
no.
I'm unwell.
I'm coming
really
over. Yeah.
on my ass in this episode.
Johnny
T-shirt made.
Cupcakes has been
The
a
only-
judge on Top Chef.
The
so
only
no
time your mic worked was when you made that Johnny Cupcake.
Yeah. By the way, you've been totally silent the whole time.
Yeah, I'm being freaking punked. Okay, well that's a different guy. Wow, I really thought these. I'm gonna need to like take a second because I really thought these were the same men. Because that man is a man named Johnny who looks like he would own a cupcake brand
Called Johnny
Where-
Cupcakes, and he's a baker, and he's a greaser, and he's grease
And
lightning.
the thing with the
he's
skull
like-
and the crossbones and the cupcake.
yeah, that's his whole vibe. He's also a predator, right? Yeah.
Is he?
Well, are you just saying that based off of look alone? Because
Yeah.
I think you can agree.
He
Have that vibe.
Look
and he's
and
been
job.
accused of sexual harassment by 4 former employees.
Oh my God! It's the
Oh,
first thing that comes up
God.
when you Google him.
Absolutely. So this is who our judge is. I will say again, I've said this before, I'll repeat it for our guests, that Top Chef Just Desserts season 1 is the most uncomfortable season of television I've ever seen. 2 people self-eliminate in the first 4 episodes. Someone gets hit in the head with a camera and they don't talk about it. She has a giant bandage on her head, and
Oh
she
my
did it.
God, what a mess.
She didn't in the
Gail.
beginning. And if you Google it, it's because one of the cameras fell on her fucking head and she like couldn't tell anyone. She didn't talk about it. One guy goes in an ambulance. He has a nervous breakdown and leaves the show. It is, and then the guy who is runner up was later found, tried, whatever, for child pornography. It's a horrific season of television. Johnny Uzini and Gail are the hosts.
Season 1 or this season?
Season 1 of Top Chef. There's only 2 seasons of Top Chef Just Desserts. It didn't work because people don't like watching people make dessert because it takes too long. And the process is like, even just like when they do a chocolate challenge, it's like a lot of brown stuff.
Just like
it's like obviously there's a great British bake-off.
Yes. Yes, you can definitely make it work. I think
but they did it.
Yes, and I would say too, because the bake-off has different challenges within. They like do 3 in an episode. They have to put a lot of dressing on it of like, and this is a tennis cake, which one person in the whole world has eaten, you know, like whatever. They make it more interesting and like bake it. It's like cuter, whereas sometimes the challenges in Top Chef desserts are like, make something decadent with chocolate and everyone makes like an orb of chocolate. It's like not as like
a dense chocolate.
There's like there's a joyfulness to British Bake Off that like obviously Top Chef Desserts doesn't have when they have a sexual predator.
Yeah.
It's truly so I encourage people to watch it because I just need confirmation because it is crazy.
It's such a bummer because I do love Gail. She is.
I love Gail.
Love Gail.
I hate that this happened.
Now she's.
I think I might have told you this. I had a Gail sighting in real life, and it was like one of the most incredible celebrity sightings I've ever had.
Wow.
It was in Las Vegas. It was crazy. It was at a restaurant in Vegas. It was at one of those, you know, because there's always like, it wasn't a fancy restaurant. It was Mesa or something. It was, the chef. It's not a Richard Blaze restaurant, obviously. It was a while ago.
Rick Bayless?
Bayless, yeah. It was a Bayless restaurant. And she obviously got everything sent to her for free. I was sitting close enough to where I was like, guys, I'm going to stop talking to you and try and hear what she thinks about her food.
That's
I couldn't. And she looked great. She's
Yeah.
Emily knows I love Gail.
He has a thing for Gail.
And
Padma too, but I guess there's something a little more like on the nose that I have a thing.
Yeah, we're all, you're an alien if you're crazy. Padma, she's incredible. We love
Emily has a thing for Padma too.
I do.
We have to. You have to. You have eyes.
I'm alive.
Where you're alive. Come on. So we walk into the Top Chef kitchen and there's a whole table of desserts that nobody gets to eat. And their challenge is to make a dessert and the winning chef gets to be in the Top Chef Quickfire Cookbook, a cookbook that I am sure maybe nobody buys.
Oh,
that's so interesting that you would say that.
I know you own it, but you received it as a gift.
Yeah.
My father. Wait, you guys own it?
No. The way it was presented on screen, we observed it maybe looked like a PA put together a binder.
It was like a binder.
It didn't look like a book.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
That is what the finished product looks like. The cover is essentially made out of the material of a cloth napkin from which you would get at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Perfect for cooking. So you can sop up your mess with the book.
Yeah.
But I
Insane.
own it, so
I fully knew that when I said that. Okay. So, we've all talked about this. This is maybe the first huge moment where you see this. When people on Top Chef are asked to make a dessert, it is like they are asked to walk to the moon.
Yeah.
They're like, what? I've never
don't see it coming.
They never
every time.
Lisa specifically said, I swore to myself I would never make a dessert. It's like, why?
Why would you make it?
Didn't she also swear to herself she'd never cook Polish sausage? She needs to stop.
You stop swearing to yourself.
Yeah, she's really shutting herself down.
Things that could easily happen on an unpredictable reality show you're about to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is a prime example of where you see people's wheels spinning. They're like, I've never eaten dessert. I'm savory. But y'all are out of your minds. The stuff that they made, let's go through it. Richard made banana scallops with banana guacamole and chocolate ice cream. That's a thumbs up from me, dude. I gotta give that a big ol' thumbs up. Yeah, David.
What
Now,
part,
here's the
what
thing.
part of that are you
on this earth that convinced me that that didn't just taste like bananas. I'm like, I'm sorry, you cut a chunk of banana and you serve it on top of mashed banana with a little like quenelle of chocolate. I'm like, I'm not impressed.
I also was like, what is this referencing? Like scallops and guacamole? Is
Crazy.
that like a meal that it's like, ooh, what an interesting take on this
It's
classic.
referencing, it references nothing. It makes no sense, but you know that it tastes like banana and chocolate, which is good.
Which is
Those are
good.
two good
And I
things.
like that. I agree. And you all know I'll eat a banana that's fucked up to hell. So I'll show you guys the picture.
I mean,
of
it
my
looked
banana.
disgusting, but they said it was good.
That's exactly how I kind of like to view my bananas. Like it looks disgusting, but I use it for really beautiful things. So I'm there. We're splitting a plate. Emily and Jordan, you can get something else.
Thank you.
I will.
But I think I do wonder here because Emily doesn't love sweets, and I know Reka, you and I love sweets. So
I love sweets.
splitting a lot of these.
Emily, you're gonna be my soulmate soon.
Okay, but Jordan, your
to explain myself.
no, but Jordan's favorite food is frosting. So Jordan's fucked up. So
Okay, listen.
ultimately, Jordan's gonna break your heart, Emily. So
I love frosting and stuff, but I'm much more savory than sweet, and I don't like.
we're all choosing. We all have to choose.
Okay. Yeah, Reka is
Show us.
bisexual with food.
This is the banana.
Reka!
This is the banana I had once.
Okay, that's rough. And that's
Well, yes.
I mean,
How does
having
it
a dog
end
really
up-
changes my opinion of what that looks like.
Yes, absolutely. This is also bananas. This is in banana bread though. So listen,
Okay.
this is
got it.
this is ultimately why this dish is fine with me. Okay. So then Jen made a chocolate. Okay, I'll tell you what I know this is supposed to say, and I'll tell you the typo. Chocolate cake, right? With chocolate dipped banana bites. I wrote chocolate scales. So that's disgusting.
Still have scallops on the brain.
Yeah,
Or a
right?
guy in there.
So what do we think? I mean, I'll eat. This sounds kind of boring to me, but I'll eat it.
I'll eat it.
I probably would like.
I think I'm
I
gonna.
just like chocolate.
Yeah.
Dark, like it looked dark.
I
Yes.
remember not being like, oh, I won't get ahead of the dishes, but I think I'll eat almost anything that's sweet. So that's
Yes, I don't like things that are too sweet, which upsets Jordan. So I'm only recently coming into chocolate, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Do you find chocolate too sweet? Like I feel like it's more bitter.
Yeah.
I love like a dark chocolate. No, but
Yeah, that's
okay, but but Jordan's over here in a milk chocolate fountain, and I'm over here with my dark chocolate fountain. So
I like dark chocolate too, Reka. I love chocolate. I'm not crazy about sweets, but when it comes to sweets, I like citrus or I like chocolate.
I love both. I like earth
Reka likes-
flavors.
This is where I become an uninteresting guest because I hear everything and I'm like, yep, I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that. Yep, that too sounds
Yeah.
good.
You have one hot dessert take, but
That's true. I do have some hot dessert takes. That's-
Can you give us one hot dessert take?
Well, it's a Great British Bake Off related one, which is I don't like things getting in the way of my chocolate, so it's nuts and fruits out of there. I don't mind fruits in sweets, but they need to exist in their purposeful place.
Okay, Jordan hates fruit, so you're gonna win Jordan over. I disagree
There's
with you.
too much like candied fruits, candied nuts, like all that shit. No.
I think candied
If it's
fruit
a
is fucked
fruit,
up.
Like
Yeah, that's
cobbler,
never good.
a cobbler that's like fruit centric, great. But if it's like this is the lane, stay there. Don't like just drop a fruit in there. It's not enhancing anything.
I think that's interesting. I think the nuts thing is wrong. I think chocolate always tastes better with nuts in it.
I don't think it always tastes better with nuts in it. My hot take is that I think chocolate and peanut butter is nothing special.
Jordan,
That is a crazy take.
that's wrong.
How did I think we were gonna feel?
Yeah, this is fucked.
I
This
think-
whole family dynamic is breaking up before our eyes.
God, there's so many ways to feel
Yeah.
Yes.
in this world.
Dad, I'm not being like it's the worst thing in the world. Like I'll eat it. Like if I'm in a movie and someone's like, "Hey, I have like a Reese's peanut butter cup," I'll be like, "Great." But I am like people will be like peanut butter and chocolate, and it's just I'm not.
That's like a direct quote from me.
That's you're quoting Emily's memoir, Jordan.
Quoting my memoir. I read over audiobook.
Oh,
Okay, so Andrew, our town freak, made a banana and chocolate ravioli with a coffee sauce. sauce.
I hate coffee, but I like the idea of a
I would try
dessert
it.
ravioli, so I'm giving it a thumbs up.
I
would
also
try it.
agree. I was worried about the coffee sauce because
Yeah.
that sometimes the sauces on desserts are not bringing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, in terms
Emily,
of the too sweet,
Yeah,
that can be where it
that's to me
brings
just
something
like-
other than that.
Absolutely. It's like when people put a big puddle of caramel next to something. I'm like, I don't need
And
this.
sometimes it's great. But yeah, and then that's also where the fruit sauces come in too and fuck shit up. Sorry, can we
okay.
curse on here? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Fruit sauce. Fruit sauce is different than caramel sauce. Okay. So then Nikki made a buttermilk cake with a berry sauce. It's fine. I look.
Yeah,
I think it's just boring. It's boring.
Fine with it.
This is like, I get the idea. I wouldn't want to eat it.
But this is where I'm saying,
I
like, if this was a chocolate cake, no, get the fruit sauce out of there. But I'm like, a boring bland cake, it needs the fruit sauce.
It needs the fruit.
probably
Yeah.
upgrade it.
This to me, we were talking about food that looks like conference food earlier,
Yeah.
or like hotel food. This is like, it's sort of like. I mean, I would like to eat a cake at a hotel, but this sort of is like, a little hotel food.
Right.
Yeah.
Stephanie made a chocolate cake with a salted basil ganache. Yeah, I'm gonna eat the shit out of this for sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, the basil concerns me. I'm
No.
wary, but
Yeah,
it probably didn't bring too much.
yeah.
Salt and chocolate, great.
Like
Yeah.
that to me felt like such a time stamp of being like, ooh, like a person pushing the edge right now was like
An
putting
herb
basil
in a dessert. Yeah,
dessert.
truly.
It was just a nice little like
Reminder 2008.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, Dale made hollow like shaved ice.
Mm.
I think that is something that a lot more people have probably tried by now, but in 2008 on a cooking show that
No
mostly
way.
is white people,
Yeah.
I am sure they're all like, Dale, did you invent this?
how did you think of this?
Yeah. That being said, shaved ice with like red bean and like fruits and stuff is great to me. I would eat that.
Yeah, I mean, shaved ice isn't my go-to, but
It's
I'm
too
into it.
sweet for me, but maybe
I
I,
get
don't
it.
know what his tasted like.
They didn't really list like what the fuck was in it. So I was like,
What the flavors were.
yeah. So I'm like, and that to me is also reeks of the time where they're like ethnic dessert. This is hollow. I'm like, there are types and like things
Yeah.
that go on. This.
Yeah, that's like this is sushi or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sushi. Lisa made a yogurt with a fruit puree, fried wontons, and strawberries.
I mean, I get it, but no.
I wouldn't order. To me, Jordan and I make a joke about like the type of thing that goes through people's minds when they have to make a dessert, and they're like, "I microwaved some strawberries." To me, that is this, where she's
Yes.
like, "I don't know."
Yeah. And she's like, you pissed that she has to do it at all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, then
When you order it, it's good.
Spike made a souffle and a pineapple.
So here's the thing. I would eat the souffle. The pineapple seems silly, but I
It's-
always will order or eat a souffle because it's
Yeah.
like kind of I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I would try it. I think he's annoying, but like, yeah.
This is
sort of.
actually-
No,
I-
Spike the fedora
I was
chef?
gonna say,
No.
I have a strong reaction to Spike, but I can't
Yeah.
remember if it's good or bad. Does he suck? Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
for sure.
Big
Okay.
time.
I was like, I know that face. I'm
He,
feeling
like-
something, but
He's
what is
like,
it?
we're going door to door asking people on this block for food. I'm gonna lie to the next team and say there's no more food at that. He's like just like a
Oh.
scam guy
Well,
and gross.
Yeah,
And-
and what I'll
yeah.
say is he might be totally different now. He owns a very
Absolutely.
popular, very respected like burger and milkshake joint in Washington, DC
Uh-huh.
that people love.
Oh.
So maybe he's totally different now. But on this season of this show,
In
all he did was
2008
wear
on TV.
fedoras and hype himself up with unearned
Like unearned confidence. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. He
cockiness.
yes, exactly. I mean, I would hope in 13 years all of us have changed. So let's hope.
Yeah.
Mark made a pavlova tasting with wattle seed.
I mean, I don't even remember what that dessert was, and I still don't know what it is based on that description.
What's so
I thought it
fun?
looked cute.
It looks cute. It's always little tiny pavlovas with different stuff on it, and one of them including wattle seed.
Oh right, didn't the judge say it wasn't a dessert? or
Yes,
something?
which I find so funny because that is the type of shit that is served in like a fancy restaurant constantly. Something that like
Yeah.
wouldn't
For
fill you
sure.
up, that is just like little nothings on a plate with sauce. So I found it
tiny
very
little things you have to
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Antonia made bruleed lemon curd with lemon cake. I would eat the shit out of that.
That looks great.
Yeah.
It probably was good. It
Yeah.
would, if I saw it on the menu, wouldn't catch my eye.
Wouldn't catch your eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I see too much lemon, I'm like, I'm sure this is good, but it's too much of a risk. If I'm ordering one thing,
I see.
a
Okay.
little risky.
I'll say sometimes like a lemon bar veers too sweet for me, and it should be more sour and tart.
If the people at the restaurant are like, that's the thing to get, I'll trust them and be like, great. But if no one's saying it, I'll go past the menu and I'll be like, I'm not getting lemon curd.
Breaking news also, breaking news in the chat, Amy has done a Spike hat count for a bunch of our episodes. This episode's Spike hat count was only 2, maybe 3.
Wow.
Last episode it was 4.
Different hats. Oh,
tons of different hats. He has a straw baseball hat, and I don't even. It's like foldable. It's not like made of like. It's not like a baseball hat sturdiness. It's like a foldable straw baseball hat.
I mean, if you didn't know he was cocky already, bringing like 400 hats to a thing that like, like I might have gotten. He thought he was going to be there for a long time.
It's like the Bachelorette. Like you're required to bring like 14 dresses.
Yeah.
And Spike is like, I have to have a different hat for every elimination.
My hat for finale.
Yeah, my finale hat. Yeah, for when I get proposed to by Tom. So on the bottom was Mark Antonia Spike. The top, Dale, Lisa, Richard. Richard is the winner. So he has immunity for our elimination challenge. Uh-oh, yikes. They go to a Second City improv show. No disrespect to Second City, disrespect to filming improv. And they all sort of figure out as the improvisers are getting suggestions, like give us suggestions of a color, of an emotion, of an ingredient. They're like, oh no, this is our challenge. I'll say that Mark made fun of I think Richard for wearing a pink shirt, and I was like, Mark, eat my ass. That is also, there's so much fucking like talking about timestamps, like gross, like misogyny of like gay. That is just like
we were talking about this last week, but like not gay as in bad, but gay as in funny. You know what I mean? Like we're past thinking gay is bad.
Yeah,
but
like that was his joke.
Yeah. That's his punchline.
That's his full punchline.
So I think it was dated then. I mean, 2008.
Yes.
I don't even think this is a timestamp. This is like,
literally,
wait, this is crazy.
You haven't read a book. Interesting. Yes. So they all get assigned these kind of goofy combinations: vanilla, yellow love, orange turned on asparagus, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I think. I think that's a fine challenge. Here's where I think it's stupid. When they get into the kitchen, all of their like machinery is taken away. Any sort of like blender, robo-coupe situation. I think that's like an unnecessary twist.
No, that's how improv works. You go on the stage and then they tell you have to go to a different stage and perform. And the audience is left.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why
and then it's like, wait, you got to figure out how you're going to get to your show.
Yeah.
That's improv.
Exactly. And everyone, just like in improv, I have decided to make like a pumpkin soup and my RoboCoupe is gone, but everyone else wasn't going to need that anyway. So they're all fine.
I think they were on the right path because I actually think there is a nice thing to being like, how do you make it like improv? But that wasn't it. That didn't line up. Yeah. I do think like they've done challenges like this before where they're like, here's a new ingredient you have to use.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
And that's more like what you could refer to as, and I hate that I'm saying this, improv. I hate that I'm saying that this is what improv is like, but that would be what improv like.
Oh, or almost like I had thought in the spirit, the quickfire never connects to the elimination, but like, oh, you get 1.5 extra hours, make a dessert, like thematically that makes sense with this. Like,
tie it all together.
Yeah, but
great. Make it a herald.
Make it so start with Del Close. Del Close was rude to people in Chicago and made a form from it. Yes. So here are the dishes that they made. Spike and Andrew, the dynamic, chaotic, crazy duo, got vanilla yellow love, and they made an acorn squash soup with vanilla creme fraiche.
This sounds bad to me. It sounds too sweet. The judges said it wasn't. And I also, before anyone says anything, do just need to remind everyone that Reka had a crush on Andrew when this season was on TV.
Yes, when this season was on TV and I was 17 years old, I had a crush on what I interpreted as a funny man with a beard. Now, do I think he is funny now? No, I am afraid of him.
He is not like 100%.
I need to relook him up.
Yes. Andrew is like the guy that's like, you'll have to drag me out with security. And he makes like stupid jokes all the time. And I think, 17-year-olds, we're not taught to respect ourselves. So I thought that was funny. And I was like, oh, he yells a lot. That's funny, right? So
it just makes me laugh. And we have to bring it up whenever.
Yes, we do have to bring it up. Ultimately. Yeah, sorry.
I actually totally see it. Like you're still trying to learn like what it is to be funny, or like maybe this is it.
Maybe this is funny. Hetero culture is ultimately a cursed place. Yeah. So I agree, Jordan. I don't like vanilla and savory. I don't like vanilla in a lot of places that I don't think it belongs. You guys know that my vanilla and chai stance is no. Yeah. I think that's crazy. I think it's too aromatic over a flavor. And I'm not about something that smells more than it tastes. I think that's crazy.
I think, so in general, you don't want vanilla in there.
No, I like vanilla in like ice cream, whatever, like cake and shit. But like I'm like vanilla in a soup, and like vanilla and lobster seems to be a really popular.
I just feel like it will make your brain reference what
Tom even says that in an episode. He's like, our brains are trained to believe vanilla belongs in a dessert. So when you put it
as soon as you smell it,
as you smell it, you're like ice cream, not like.
Not this, and like my mouth won't make sense.
But those butternut squash soups are kind of like dessert.
They are, and that's why I'm like, ew, I don't want to eat.
Problem.
Well, I mean, it is what the dish is, so people like it.
Okay, so David's eating this. David's ordering this for dessert. We're gonna be eating our lemon thing, and you're gonna order squash.
I think it's crazy. I think that was another dated dish, obviously, to like see the judges be like, "Wow, he nailed a butternut squash soup." I'm like, this is bizarre. Like
it's absolutely bizarre.
That is not a layered level of like when I think of like layered textures and deep flavors of soups. Butternut squash is like something it sounds like anybody could make.
Well,
like a butternut squash soup.
While he was making it, he was like, I'm going to spend half an hour like layering. He's like, a little salt, a little broth, a little salt. Like those are his two, like
my layers.
Layering,
like an onion you open that has nothing in it.
Inside, he's just like, there's like no other things going on.
Absolutely. Okay, then we go to Stephanie and Jennifer, who have orange turned on asparagus. I think they tried to be really creative here. They wanted to do a menage a trois of orange with goat cheese, asparagus salad, and an olive tapenade with like a crouton in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think I would order this, even though like asparagus and orange and goat cheese all sounds fine to me. It just sounds
everything was too big.
It was all I don't. It's weird because normally the issue of like sometimes in the show they'll be like, this was too big a portion. I'm like, did it taste good? What the fuck are you talking about? Because you're eating 16 meals in one night. So like, But
I will agree with what Johnny Pervert said. I don't like to fight with my food unless I'm like at a crawfish boil or something. Then I'm like, okay, this is fine. But when I'm sitting at a nice meal, restaurant, whatever, where I'm expected to behave a certain way, I don't want to have to be like really messing with my food to try to eat it. So I think this dish to me sounds delicious flavor wise, but just conceptually is a hot mess. And I think also they went kind of, even though it was creative, I think they went too stereotypical.
Yes, a big dick. And also to just on a cooking note, you don't grill the bread ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's like,
they didn't.
She even said like, I shouldn't do this. And then
I got the sense it wasn't about the portions that were too big. It just seemed like, you put like, it made it felt like it wasn't refined because they were just throwing so much stuff. That was so weird.
And you really need that stuff to tie together. If you have like a whole asparagus, a whole slice of bread, a whole hunk of goat cheese, like for
Yeah.
sure.
And I do not abide by a fruit and a savory thing, but that's I don't like it.
Okay, I'm pro. I always like.
Yeah.
Okay, Dale and Richard made green perplexed tofu. This is gonna be a big fat yes from me.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
This
But
rules.
you couldn't eat it though.
Oh, David, I couldn't co-host this really successful live stream if I was actually able to eat. I had to eat any of this.
This felt like the closest to the border.
This is the
where it's like,
closest.
you fucked up the thing I want to eat is what
Yeah,
I was wondering.
exactly. You made the thing I want to eat have a flavor. So
Yeah.
they made a tofu steak marinated in beef fat with green curry. I thought this was really original. I do think like calling curry a perplexing flavor is like question mark, but that's why I love taking it further when Richard was like, why don't we make the tofu perplexed? Like
Right.
the tofu doesn't know if it's beef. I'm like, that is firstly adorable, Richard.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to talk about portion, hey, I eat a lot of tofu. I'm like, did you
Crazy.
just pop this right out of the box?
Yeah.
Like,
It was big. They were like, it's a piece of meat.
That was big tofu. That was
Yeah.
big
that was
tofu.
probably like cold on the inside still, tofu.
Yes, and that's the thing with tofu too, because like
It's not
it's,
like
it's a surface area game of like,
yeah.
if you have less surface area, that flavor, I don't know. I mean, hey, they're chefs. I'm sure they know how to infuse beef fat in there, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was interesting. There was all I wrote was, oh, okay, here, wait, sorry, jumping ahead. Antonia and Lisa made magenta drunk Polish sausage. So they made a wild Chilean sea bass with purple potato puree and chorizo with a hint of tequila.
This didn't look good to me.
It didn't even look good.
I don't-
Tequila.
Everything about this dish was confusing. This was the more perplexing, I would say.
This is
than the
perplexing.
Yeah.
Also, though, I did see the benefit of an improv education in how to sell a dish and then not like first thing, if I was with a partner making this, I'd be like, oh, if we have shots of tequila, everyone should. Otherwise, it's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Or just
Um,
come up with the reason you made any of those choices
They
other
did.
than
Absolutely.
why
It
you didn't
seemed
want
like
to.
it was like we already decided the dish we wanted to make a week ago.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
like,
We're making
"Eh."
Chilean sea bass, right?
Yeah, and then they got this Polish sausage thing, and they're like, "Shit, should we change the challenge?" And they're like, "No, fuck it, I will never make Polish sausage."
Also, I was not aware. Pop it in the chat if you're aware of like a stigma against Polish sausage in the cooking community. I was like, what are you talking about? It's not like they were talking about Polish sausage like people talk about easy cheese or something. I was
Yeah,
like,
or like
crazy.
hot dogs. Or
yeah,
something.
it's like, am I crazy? It seems like
Yeah.
this is a thing people eat all the time.
It was very weird. It was very strange. And then even when Lisa was explaining, she's like, the only time I've ever had Polish sausage is when my mom would make it and she would sear it up and she would top
I was like,
top of sauerkraut and mashed
That sounds
potatoes with
great.
buttermilk.
No.
You're describing like a delicious dish. What are you
yeah,
doing?
the only time I've had it is when it was deliciously prepared. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. So weird to me. Then we get a gross homophobic joke from one of the improvisers who was like, said something to Ted Allen. I didn't even write it down. I was just like, ew, where he said something about like, oh, I love a sausage. I love a Polish sausage. Don't get any ideas. I was like, ew.
I didn't even pick up. I wasn't listening or
clock
something.
that.
I was like, get a job. Because Ted Allen was
Ted
like,
Allen is trying to jump over the table to undo this man. This
Yeah.
disgusting improviser's hands.
this fucking loser improviser. I was like, get a fucking book.
Wait, someone who was
Ted
that?
Ted Allen was one of the judges, and he was one of the guys on. He was on Queer Eye. He was the food and wine
Okay,
expert.
I was like that.
That was the person she recognized.
I
And
was
she
like,
was like,
that
"Is he an
guy's
improviser?"
really
Oh,
And I was
that's
like, "No,
so
he's a
funny. Yes, he was on the original
okay.
Queer Eye and was a judge, and he's the host of Chopped. And he is gay and is like the only gay person on this show for X amount of seasons. And then so anytime there is a joke that someone has to make because they are compelled to, because their brain is diseased, Ted will rebuff it and make them look not like a huge asshole on chat.
Very nice of him.
Very, very nice of him. Then Nikki and Mark had purple depressed bacon. I will argue a purple and a magenta in the same challenge. Roasted pork loin with sweet potato mash, Concord grape sauce, and a pork jus, and then Brussels sprouts. I thought this
This is too
Fine.
sweet for me.
I thought this looked okay.
I thought it looked fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm like 3/4 in between half and up there.
Okay.
Hey, I'm with you. The
Yeah,
sweet,
could be too sweet.
This challenge, I didn't have a single thing that I was like really excited about.
Yes, I think the most exciting thing for me was the green perplexed tofu, because that was like, you made a dish, not like a bunch of random weird sides.
And like curry, he made a good curry, and that's delicious. Like
exactly. So at judges table, on the top we get Spike and Andrew, and then Dale and Richard. Ultimately, the winners were Dale and Richard. They each got $2,500 worth of Calphalon kitchenware. I was like, oh, that sucks. I mean, they're chefs. I'm sure they have a fuck ton of kitchenware.
Well, you know what? They can always sell it to a person that needs $25,000 worth of
whatever the fuck. Yeah, so much money. Okay. Then on the bottom.
In their apartment, like,
yes.
And at that point, it's a problem to have that unless you're very wealthy.
Oh yeah, I was talking to someone yesterday about like game show winnings and how like all these people end up having to pay so much tax. And she was saying like a friend of hers won a car on The Price is Right. She had to get it shipped from California to New York, pay for that, pay the taxes on the car. And then she was like, well, I have to sell this immediately or use it. And I live in New York and I don't want to use it. So it's like a problem.
Yeah.
I want it.
Exactly. On the bottom was Jen and Stephanie, and then Antonia and Lisa. And eliminated is our haircut twin, Jen.
Jen.
So what did we think of this episode?
I mean, improv was rough.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I had some notes. I feel like people weren't listening, and that like they just need to keep it grounded. Yeah.
Really interesting choice of the second beat. The right person went home, I think.
Yeah.
That's
for the challenge.
Yeah, for the challenge. I did feel like it was a weird reaction to going home. Like I felt like she didn't react to it. I mean, not everyone always reacts the right way, but it was like she really thought she did a good job with some of that stuff when clearly it didn't work. Like,
that's like an exit that is often like it's like they respect standing behind your dish, but it's like I feel like you got to be like that was a bad one.
That's another thing where people, that's like the opposite thing will always be said, like stand behind your dish. That's why you went home, because you served something disgusting, but you didn't lie to me about it. You should have. And then when you exactly, and then when they do say I made a bad dish, or when they say I didn't make a bad dish, like your palate is bad and you're fucked in the head.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out of here and stop cooking.
Yes. Totally.
What did you guys think?
Yeah. What was your take?
I remember watching this when it was on TV and being like, oh, my two things I love most coming together. So I think I'm a little nostalgic for this episode. I think it's a fun way to get the things for the challenge. I wish feels like an unhinged statement. We saw so little of what was happening in the theater. I wish there had been a little more like context to the scenario, maybe, because they were like, we're doing improv. And then when we got there, they were just like, you guys are cooking. It just felt very weird and disjointed.
Yeah. It seemed like they ended up cutting around a lot of stuff or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It seemed like they even cut around the setup for getting rid of all the cooking.
Absolutely.
They didn't even set up the improv for the cooking in a way that felt right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the quick fire was really fast. Somehow nothing was long, but that was like the right length of time.
Yes, absolutely. Too much time spent, I don't know.
They had, I mean, it was very funny. Too much time putting together that fake Top Chef cookbook that didn't exist.
That's so funny. You could mop the floor with. We always like to ask our guests what they would have made for the challenge. No pressure, but is there any one of these improv suggestions that like spoke to you?
I mean, I remember. Wait, say the suggestions again.
Yeah, there's so many. It was we had vanilla yellow love, orange turned on asparagus, green perplexed tofu, magenta drunk Polish sausage, purple depressed bacon.
So I remember hearing the drunk Polish sausage and automatically being like, oh, that's why I was like, oh, that's an obvious dish, and I get why they reacted to it, but that's because I'm not a good cook, so I would have been like, oh yes, give me in that lane.
Yeah.
I want to, because I'll have a beer and a sausage. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I like on the later seasons, I'll have some like, ooh, I would have done this, but something about the setup, I was like, other than just like when the misfire, you can tell already when they're describing their dish, you're like, no, that's
bad. Yeah.
Bad, very
totally
bad concept. But I don't know. Other than the Polish sausage one, I was like the vanilla orange love thing. I was like, there's no answer there.
Yes, for me, that's like I would make a dessert.
It had to be. Like it seemed like it had to be.
Yes. Magenta drunk Polish sausage sounds like it could be the name of a dish on somebody's menu. That's like a beer braised Polish sausage with red cabbage, and whatever.
That's why I was like, did they produce this? Because some of two of the suggestions seemed like very straightforward dishes. The bacon one also.
Yes, purple depressed bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I assumed that the bacon one would be like potatoes and bacon.
Yes, that's basically what it was. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Cool. And we have a question for you guys in the chat, which is, do each of you have any like cooking styles? And do you also have any cooking mishap stories?
Man.
Well, Emily will not agree to this, but Emily is a great cook. She makes the best sandwiches, which is an underrated attribute.
Absolutely.
I think making a good sandwich, in my opinion, I didn't realize was a thing you could do.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, you put bread and meat on it, but she'll like make a sauce for it.
Yes.
She'll add seasonings to it. She'll cut up vegetables for it. All things I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
I'm like an assembler. I like to, and I think it's like the science thing. I'm like, anytime there's like a technique or heat or like it needs to be like a certain level for safety, or you can like truly fuck it up, that I can't. Like I think prior to us like being together, I don't think I would go like weeks without cooking anything.
Yes.
I just like, eat things that are raw.
Yes.
I mean, following a cookbook I can do, but it takes so much time. I think I mentioned this once, but it took me, or maybe I haven't, it took me like one day, an hour and a half to make guacamole because of how precise I was with like chopping. And I'm like, this is something that I know takes 10 minutes. And
that's so funny.
Somehow figure out a way to make it under an hour. I have a problem there.
Yeah.
But last night we did taco night, which is sort of our standard go-to, which is making tacos. Can put the ground chicken or whatever into the pot, add the taco seasoning, and it's done. Easy. So
hell
easy.
yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I said this, but like my into being like really loving the show is not because I like love cooking. I was just doing a job in England and I had zero friends. And I had like 16 seasons of Top Chef. And I just watched the whole thing over and over and over, like all 16 seasons, like 3 times in a row. Like I just was like, these are my friends. And so I just have a very deep emotional connection with like the stream of this like show washing over me as I was like doing other things. They were like the only humans I saw for a long time were the people on the show. So
she got her close friends and they were not good enough to take her away from me.
Yeah.
They kept her from going outside to meeting other people. It's like,
wow, beautiful.
I was preparing.
Yes.
For the last
preparing for the pandemic.
Yeah. Preparing for the pandemic. Yes. Okay. So now Amy's asking, do you have favorite taco fillings and fixins?
Oh, well, that's easy for me. I am hard shell taco.
Ooh.
Avocado. A taco sauce.
Yes.
Kind of a cheap, shitty one that like you get at a regular grocery store.
Yes.
Shredded lettuce. What is it? Green onions. And do I put anything else on there? Cheese.
Do you? And is this a beef taco?
Well, it's any form of a grounded meat taco. So it could be Impossible meat.
Yes.
It could be turkey meat. It could be chicken, or it could be beef, but it's ground.
It sounds like you and Del Taco should meet. I feel like that's like
that's like what I love. It's like a Del Taco or Taco Bell tacos. Like,
yes.
or they call it a gringo taco, right? Like it's like
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like,
What about you, Emily?
well, we don't make at home the stuff that I like the best. I think
Yes.
my very favorite is like anything like spicy stewy, like
Mm.
avocado sort of thing inside, and like any version of that. But
Yes.
you just make like
we make the thing I
the
like.
thing he likes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
Well, it's like it takes like it's very easy.
I guess
I don't know how to
yeah.
do the right version, but
Yes.
yeah. Or like
Well,
a
I'm
bean
lucky.
and cheese. So good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
This is
who does a great bean and cheese burrito? It's not really a burrito, it's Home State. They do a bean and cheese taco, but
That's-
it's
I really,
it's
in the
like-
flour tortilla,
Yes.
I really
Oh,
like
good.
it.
tortilla. It's like a mini bean and cheese burrito. It's
Yes.
so good.
Yes, it's
Yes.
so good. Before I started eating like basically mostly vegan, that was my home state order. And now the vegan taco there, the Emos,
Not
it's
good.
too sour. It's all cabbage.
It's kind of sour, right?
All cabbage. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get
So
out of here.
their beans have
There's
meat in
other-
them. Most of their other
Some of their beans do. Like I think their pinto probably does. Their black beans don't.
got it, yeah.
Yeah.
They're refried beans, which I think might have meat in them.
They might.
What's your favorite vegan inside?
Ooh, vegan insides. It's fun. It's tough because they're all soy lumps and just put with a different sauce.
Yeah.
But I do like an al pastor vegan style. I think that's really good. I think sometimes vegan chicken tacos end up really dry. So those aren't my favorite. So I'll go al pastor. What about you, Jordan?
I love like a chicken tinga or something like that. I also love nopales.
Yeah.
Which for anyone watching that is not familiar is like cactus.
Yeah.
That's very tasty.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I love a bean and cheese burrito. I would say that's one of
Yes.
my desert island foods.
Yeah.
Sleeper.
So good.
Sleeper hit.
I'll tell you right now, since we're talking Del Taco, which is my favorite fast food chain. Del
You
Taco,
can just say restaurant. It's your favorite restaurant. You can just say yeah.
we're creating a safe space for me.
Yeah.
Bean and cheese burrito, extra cheese, and then you can ask to get it like jacked up is how they refer to it. And they put crispy French fries and secret sauce in it.
What?
Got it. Wow. So this is your desert island meal just because you shouldn't be around other people after you eat.
Yeah. Because Jordan's like, the fart storm that comes out.
You have
Yeah.
a whole island to yourself.
Yeah, legally I have to
enjoy.
Yeah. Legally, the burrito is so big it would cause like it disrupt traffic. It's like Jordan alfrescos on the side. Yeah.
Jacked up sounds big. I mean, I love Del Taco and I haven't had that, so that I gotta try.
You gotta try.
Okay.
It's good.
I've never been to Del Taco. Do they have fries, or is it like they have a secret fries?
Oh yeah, they
I
have
know.
fries.
Fries. Del Taco has like burgers and
They have
fries
burgers.
too, and they're actually good.
Okay, here's one last question from an audience member, which is they just started learning how to cook. What is one dish intermediate to advanced that, and this is for anybody, that you think that they should learn?
Ooh, should we do the Jamie Oliver chicken dish? Because I am very, very beginner level cook, but this is so easy even for me, and it's so good.
It's always
But
very good.
it's for probably two. I mean, that's the problem with any cooking, but like
Yes.
it's for a couple people at least, and it
Yes.
has leftovers.
Yeah.
It is.
Love the leftovers.
How do we look it up? It's like the.
Oh, it's like on. Well,
It's
I think
on-
it's on Food
yeah.
52.
Is it Jamie Oliver?
It's literally all you do is put like
Yeah.
chicken breast, basil, and tomatoes, and a bunch of olive oil and garlic in a cast iron pan. And
Yum.
cook it.
Yeah, it's a one pot.
But you cannot fuck it up.
It's a
I
one
love
pot.
one
Should I
pot.
send the link?
Absolutely. And I'll put it in the
I think that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Chicken legs. I thought it was thighs.
Oh wait. Hold on. Tender and crispy. Maybe it's not. Actually. I don't know.
Chicken.
Well, they're pulling that up, Jordan. Do you have any intermediate dishes you'd recommend?
Yeah, I would say like it's really, I would say cooking vegetarian in general is going to be easier. And then I love to make like you can go kind of any route, like a pozole or kind of more like a tortilla soup, but like broth, some beans, onion, garlic. You can really then add, you could add hominy and like some tomatillos, and then you have a pozole verde, or you can add some regular tomatoes, and more spices, and then you have a tortilla soup, or you could just eat like stewed beans like that. So I think beans are the perfect beginner food. The only tip I have for beans is, and I didn't know this until kind of late in the game, don't salt them while you're cooking because
Absolutely.
it takes them 10 times longer to cook. So you have to wait until the end and then salt them.
Yep, it seizes them and it almost makes them go back to hard.
That makes, whoa, that's huge.
It's
but I didn't know that for so long.
I always make pretty bad beans. And
Me too.
What?
I love canned beans for this reason. I agree with Jordan. I like stewy type of things. Elaine in the chat, I agree with like making a curry. Like I think people think curry is so complicated. Totally. It's really a commitment to buying spices. And then you just taste as you go. Like, do I like how this tastes? Cool. This is all in one pot and is one big pot of thing that I could eat throughout the week.
A one pot thing is a real revolution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
then
you
you have
realize that you can just do very little once it cooks and it gets more tender or takes on the flavors without having to tend to it.
Absolutely.
Like, I couldn't believe how tender the chicken was in that dish that I just shared.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for doing the show. Is there anywhere people should look you up, catch your work? I mean, I want to plug, not even as a joke, a shout out to the IPCC 500-page document about the state of our climate. Shout out to Emily for being a climate scientist. That's incredible. Shout out to David. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the newest season just dropped on Hulu. You should check it out.
Newest and final season.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you. And David and I are currently writers on Grand Crew, a new NBC show that's coming out in January. So you should check that out as well.
All about climate change.
Stay at home. Stay at home. Don't do anything and wait until that comes out.
And wait until January, please, for the love of God.
I will.
And
Truly will.
I'm getting word from our Bravo producers here. I can tell them. Okay. They said that you guys are Top Chef. Weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Both of us, we both won like the
Yeah.
that happened this time, which was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. There are 2 ways to become Top Chef. One of them is to compete on the Bravo cooking competition Top Chef and win, and the other is to be a guest on the YouTube live stream visual podcast for charity Talk Chef.
Yeah.
As a guest of breakout.
Either way,
so
an Indian woman will tell you you're a Top Chef. That's
wow.
so, kind of the same.
Wow. I kind of felt like this was coming to me somehow.
I feel I've earned this.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I earned this. I feel like Top Chef. So thank you.
We just stayed true to ourselves, and we also got out of our comfort zone.
Exactly. So the one thing, the one coherent piece of advice. Okay, wait. Also, Emily, Amy in the chat said, I did attempt to read one of Emily's papers on the ambient ocean temperature heat absorption, and it was really interesting.
Oh my God. She's the one. I probably got a notification that
and
wow, thank you so much. Wow.
Amy, thank you.
Amy, we love
it.
So incredible.
My friends.
Yes. Okay. Wow. We are buzzing about this ocean temperature paper. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. This was
Thank you guys.
Thank you. I was like, I needed an outlet.
Hey, literally anytime. It's a blast. So thank you so much for joining us. And
well, now
guys,
we have to finish, what is this, season 4?
Season 4. It's a good season. It's a good season.
We'll check back in with how we keep thinking about it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Please do. Send us texts all the time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.